A lot of the times men like to do
Last
that
word.
to dodge accountability. Okay. We both came together as two adults. Regardless if you were using me for convenience or not, then you made a fucked up decision. Then you were being irresponsible. Absolutely.
If I was honest from the gate, did I?
Oh, absolutely. Why? Because now you're tied in to a baby with me, but you didn't want to be with me. You wanted to have sex with me for your pleasure, but you didn't want to create a child, but you did. So you're irresponsible. And that's a lot of the times when we hear men talk about, well, she put me through child support and I'm in court. That's your fault. Just like you want to sit up here and point at women and say, well, this is the reason you a single mom because you picked the wrong guy. Well, you picked the wrong woman then. You picked the wrong woman to procreate with. Absolutely, that's irresponsible as and how it's dodging accountability is, I knew I wasn't wanting a baby with you in the first place, but you decided to have it with me because you was in love with me, shawty. No, but that's dodging accountability. It's two adults that decided to have a child together and it didn't work. So a woman leaving that situation isn't selfish, it's smart as absolutely.
How you not gonna let us get your response in there?
I mean, I didn't make the clip. Do more men need to take accountability for fathering their kids? We'll go to Nelson.
I think it's nuanced. I would say yes, but in the case that she kind of just described it, even I think men a lot of times want to take accountability, but unfortunately, when you're with a woman like that, she defines what accountability is for you. So she decides when you get to see the child. She decides what activities you get to do with the child, what time, how often you could talk to them, things like that. Like, if that is the case, if that is the only way that you can interact with your child, then although you should be accountable for them, you can't really be accountable for them because you're being handcuffed. And you know, I see a lot of guys that have children with, unfortunately, the wrong women, and now unfortunately they can't raise their children the way that they would want to raise them because of that. So I think as men, yeah, we do need to take accountability, and there are a lot of great men that actively do that and are trying to do that, but we can't ignore the fact that women have, in those kind of relationship scenarios, women have the power to kind of determine your level of access.
All right. Go ahead, James. What are your thoughts about it? Do more men need to take accountability for fathering their kids?
Honestly, man, I would say yes, but I think it goes back to the conversation we had earlier. You know what I mean? She just put it all on him. You know what I mean? Like she didn't have no part in it. Oh, I just wanted to have sex, you know. So it's kind of we just going this back and forth thing, and we're not going to go nowhere unless both take accountability. And honestly, man, this goes against us having casual sex. We got to be more intentional who we having sex with, because this situation, like, imagine, like, I know, like, she's like cool and all that shit. She's probably like a good person in real life, but how she was acting and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to sleep with a woman like that. Because imagine me having a child with her, and I'm trying to see the child, and then she up there jumping and getting all hype and shit, like she want to fight or something like that. Like, I'm looking at her like a nigga, like we got to fight or something. So it's like you don't want to put yourself in a situation. Like, we got to stop being so risky when we dealing with these women, because if we continue to do this shit, like, we're just gonna have to deal with these crazy ass women, and then now they're gonna be telling us, oh, you're not accountable, you a deadbeat and all this type of stuff, because you just want to have peace. You on high blood pressure medication, you on all type of shit trying to live because you had a couple of nights with this crazy ass chick. So that's what we gotta kind of realize and look at it stuff more long term, rather just been beating the cheeks and then just go about our day, man. It's crazy out here.
James, you know you want to call them heifers. You can say it. I give you permission.
I can't believe it, Jesus. I can't believe it, Jesus.
All right, go ahead, Hank. I'm coming to you. Do more men need to take accountability for fathering their kids?
Oh, hell yeah. I don't look here, man. I can't stand a deadbeat motherfucking man, because he makes us good men look bad. And so whatever means you got to do to get along with this woman, you do. But like James said, if you run into a heifer like that and you see her like that, why are you knocking her down? Especially going in that naked head. Look here, I know we always worry about the snotty no kids, I worry about them STDs this heifer got, because no telling how many times she was giving it up on the goddamn first night. I'm worried about getting some shit that penicillin can't cure. Fuck them kids. Them kids gonna eventually grow up and move on. I still got to worry about what she gave me. That's a problem. Them some dirty heifers out here, and they fucking like crazy. And they telling the dudes you ain't gotta wear a condom.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know that's right. So that's shit. I'm not what man. Look here, guys. If you get a woman pregnant, take care of your kids. As a man who didn't always have a father in his life, I know the feeling of not being around for a man being around for me. I know what it is, and I would never put my son or my daughter in that same situation. I couldn't imagine, and my brother was the same way. We couldn't imagine not being in our kids' life. Something that I helped produce, I'm not to be around. Now I'm gonna fight to the end. I'm gonna get custody of these kids. Whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna have a conversation. Hopefully it could be cordial and respectful type conversation about visitation, about my son or my daughter come live with me, whatever the case may be. We're gonna have to work this shit out. Yeah, men, take care of your kids, man. Don't be that dude.
All right, I'm gonna go to Kenny. Do more men need to take accountability for fathering their kids?
It's funny. We were having a discussion yesterday about Pookies and Ray Rays, and I believe they do. They have the knowledge that they're going in and they're about to wreck somebody's life. There's a lot of guys that I grew up around that just purposely wanted to get girls pregnant because they look pretty. They purposely purposely wanted to like just have a girl and just lack responsibility, not look at the repercussions that came for it. Boys will be boys, as they say. No. There are a lot of single baby mothers out here because men were very reckless. And this one I will stand on, that men need to make better choices. You can't fault that woman for jumping around like she wanted to fight somebody. You're the one that went and laid down with her, knowing that you went the full course, knowing that you went raw up in this woman, not thinking long term of being proactive. And we got to be held accountable on that end because we got to do a lot better. That's why we have these discussions right here. So yeah, a lot more men need to tighten up their laces and, do better out here.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, man. Hank, you made it a great point, man, because I know y'all noticed that viral video that's out right now where they had the woman who got caught by the Ring camera and she took down nearly 10 men in the same day. So you just have to be wary of it. And I'm going to tell you, I know some women in real life. I talk to a lot of women, right? And listen, a lot of these women will absolutely take down 3, 4, 5 men a day, and they ain't even trapping. No joke. This is how they do it. So you need to protect yourself and be responsible. And they will look you in the face, and they'll have a boyfriend sometimes. And like you just have to understand that men ain't the only ones dogging it out here, man. Some of these women is going crazy, and by the time you get wrapped up in that much jizz, man, you're going to have some issues. So you don't want to be the 4th or 5th guy in that day, man. It's going to be a long, it's going to be bad, man. Just understand that your sauce ain't the only sauce in it, man. It could be bad. So as far as men, I think that we should, when we are afforded the opportunity, and sometimes we aren't, right? I've sat there with some men. And they tell me, man, they like, yo, man, this is crazy. I just want to see my kids. And sometimes they are brought to tears. They want to be a part of their children's lives, but they can't, right? They're doing everything. They're paying child support. And unfortunately, the law is not nearly as strict on women as they are on men. They will enforce child support like a mother lover, but they will not enforce the fact that they need to see them sometimes. They don't really care about that custody thing when it comes to women in most cases. I don't know how they do where y'all guys at, but I know in Jersey there is very low enforcement. They can get away with a bunch of stuff. You could bring them to court and there is seriously no penalty a lot of times with that. It's just like, whatever. Now, as far as men having to be responsible, hell yeah, we better be. We better be. You just have to understand that every single woman that you decide to lay down with, she can be potentially connected to you for the rest of your life. So when you go ahead and get that jump off, you have to consider that this could be my baby mother, and that's for life. And she might be the most ratchet whatever, and that's who's going to have the kids most of the time. Because yeah, guess what? We push 90% of custody going towards women, right? So you just have to understand that she's going to be the one raising your child because you can't stand to be with her, or because maybe she already got 4, 5, 6 baby daddies already. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to want to live with her. You're not going to want to make that your wife. So you have to consider that when you going around with these bops or whoever, you got to be very careful because she's going to be connected to you, and a lot of people do not consider that at all, and it's dangerous. Anything that we can control, we have to, and you have to consider how many decisions you made. You made a decision to lie with a woman who is not in your category, or you had no business with, and then you decided to go raw diggity, and then you ain't even pull out. How? Come on, man. We got to do something, right? At least the finale, like something. You know what I mean? You got to protect yourselves. Your best bet is to avoid women who you can't see yourself at least being cordial with, at least long term. If you can't see yourself raising a child with them, then you got to be very careful. You have to make sure you protect yourself as many ways as you possibly can, because you're at risk, right? And your legacy is at risk at that point. So now you're going to have a child out there who you have no control over. You have no authority over. Like, they can do whatever they want. They're going to have different values than you were raised in. So yeah, we absolutely have to be careful with that. But we have to understand this, right? It's not most men that are behaving irresponsibly. There's a small subset of men who were guilty of this, right? There's a lot of guys well, not a lot of guys. There's a few guys who are doing it to a whole bunch of women, and they don't care. They will have a whole bunch of baby mamas. And I've seen some cornballs. Kenny wasn't lying. I know some dudes who'd be like, damn, I'm about to get her prego. Like, they just really, just because she cute, they like, yeah, let's go ahead and get that. Because a lot of times they might feel like she might be a little bit out of his league, and they'll feel like they'll have bragging rights to say that that's my baby mom's. And it's corny as hell, but it's a reality. And those dudes, when you see it, call it out, because it's trash, and they make the good men look horrible. But I do want people to understand, most of us are responsible out here. Most of us wouldn't be caught doing that. So I'll let it there for now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead, Marcus. You on mute, just so you know, Mark.
I agree with Kenny P. That is all.
What?